All right, Chris, thank you. Look who we have here in her Carolina Blue today.
I am. My Coach Smith.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
An alumni of
I am an
Chapel
alumni,
Hill, so,
and I was a journalism student when he did his announcement of retiring.
Yeah.
And we begged to go to the presser, and our teacher wouldn't let us. We were like, we'll never get history like this again.
Yeah, that was a historical moment.
We were brand new. He said no, we were not allowed to go.
Oh, boy.
I know.
All right. Well, we're all thinking about Dean Smith, and we're all thinking about Black History Month this month.
We are. So, and you know, Coach Smith was such an amazing advocate for civil rights, and we very much appreciate what he did for that and for what he's done a lot. So, just thinking about some great African-American writers that we often don't, we hear about Toni Morrison, we hear about some, so I brought in some of my favorites.
Okay, good.
For Black History Month. Ernest Gaines. Now, he wrote, you probably know about him from A Lesson Before Dying, one of my absolute all-time favorite books. This one is some short stories, Mozart and Leadbelly, and actually it's about his writing process and why he writes and some of the stories behind that. I love digging in as a writer myself. I love digging into the stories behind, especially gritty works that these folks have done. So this is a great one. Now, absolutely one of the up-and-coming, well-known Black writers of our day is Walter Mosley. This is one of the ones I found, The Last Days of Ptolemy Gray. Now, in this one, a 91-year-old man is just ready to live out the rest of his days. He is done. No, everyone's forgotten about him. And a young woman, a 17-year-old woman, comes into his life and sparks some of that energy again. And I think she pulls out some history for him, and he's able to pour into the next generation, which is a lot of times when we celebrate Black History Month and we celebrate these months, it's so we remember and we pour into the next generations the things we've learned. Yeah. Now, like I said, you cannot do African-American writers.
Talk about Toni Morrison,
You cannot not talk about Toni Morrison. Now, she is one of the most beloved poetic writers that we know. This is Paradise. This is actually the first book she wrote after winning her Nobel Peace Prize. And this is one to dig into. There's a lot of story, a lot of mystery happens behind this book, and they go into a convent and some just remember, she is often graphic, often a little bit harder to read, to be careful with who reads it. Sure. Your teenage daughters and those sorts of things, but always good. I love just pouring into who are these great writers. And this got Oprah's, see the big O right there, got Oprah's stamp of approval, so it must be good. It is. Ernest Gaines has gotten some Oprah seal of approval, as has Walter Mosley. So. Yeah. All right. Oprah's good stuff. I love it. Thank you, Arden. Thank you. We will be back with a final check of the forecast.